Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome. You're listening to Perfectly Healthy and Tone Radio with your host, Darren Fat Man McDuff. And now, prepare to get fat.
Hey, what's cracking? Welcome back to Perfectly Healthy and Tone Radio with your host, Darren McDuffie. And please visit I'mTheFatMan.com. Tonight, we have a good show for you. It's called the Tao of Paleo, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I think I remember it as Tao of Paleo. It's not, you don't pronounce it like a T, but it's the Tao of Paleo. We have hosts, the authors of that book, Joe Salama and also Jason Goldberg. So should be a power-packed show. But before we get into that show, remember that you can call in and ask a question at 646-716-9371. Again, 646-716-9371. And if you're digging the show, please go on my Facebook page, facebook.com/I'mTheFatMan, and like that. And you can also get all the show updates through that. And also, if you're my friend on Facebook at Darren McDuffie, I also post an event all the time for the show, so you'll be updated on the shows. If you want to connect with me on Twitter, please do so at @thefat_man, and you can connect with me on Twitter. I'm also on Pinterest as well, and I can't even remember my Pinterest address, but I'm on Pinterest, and I don't use that much. I got to get into the groove of that, but I don't really use it much. But tonight, I'm very excited. I'm going to have two guests on the show tonight. I know we did this before with Jason and Mira Calton, and then we had someone else call in, my friend Diane Kaiser. But tonight we have two authors that are coming on, Joe Salama and also Jason Goldberg, to talk about their book, The Tao of Paleo. Funny book. It's a breath of fresh air from what I've been reading. Sometimes the books can get a little bit drab, but this book has a lot of humor in it, and I would recommend it to you, especially if you're someone who wants to know a little bit more about paleo and the paleo diet. Really good book, very, very easy to read. So without further ado, let me bring Jason and Joe on the show.
Hey, Darren.
Jason and Joe, welcome to Perfectly Healthy and Tone Radio. How are you guys doing?
Doing well.
Good,
great, man.
good.
Thanks for having us.
Good.
Yeah, we're excited to be here.
Good. Great book, man. Great book, because the book actually tells you a lot of things. It kind of intertwines a lot of things in there that people really don't know. It doesn't just cover paleo. It covers those fitness things and health things that you really need to know. So I'm excited about getting you guys on and talking about it. But before we get into the book, can you guys tell us how you discovered paleo? And I've heard on other interviews and podcasts, people say paleo. Is it paleo or is it paleo, or is just everybody pronouncing this thing wrong?
I think it's tomato and tomato, Darren. However you want to pronounce it, as long as it works for you, I think it's cool.
Cool. So tell us how you guys discovered. You covered this in the book, but I kind of wanted you to cover it with the audience. How did you both discover paleo?
Jason, you go first. Actually, Joe, I mean, since I think I'm like second in the lineage there behind you, so why don't you start, and I'll follow up that.
Okay, that sounds good. I think it was November of 2011. The years are going by really fast now. And my friend had told me about, on 10 different occasions, you need to go paleo, you need to try paleo. He had attention deficit disorder, and I had attention deficit disorder. And he said, yeah, this will really help you, with your attention deficit disorder. Hey, I've heard people say that about a billion different things. And when you have attention deficit disorder, the last thing you need is something else to do. So I kind of ignored him until around the 9th or 10th time I decided to give it a go. And I cleaned out my whole house, not knowing really what I was doing. And it took a while to get there. It took 3 painful weeks of withdrawal from the junk food and from the excessive amounts of grains and carbs I was eating. But at the end of the 3 weeks, I emerged a new man, completely born again. I didn't have any more symptoms of attention deficit disorder, didn't need to take the medication I was taking, and I just felt incredible. And the thing about me is whenever I'm enthusiastic about something, you can't shut me up about it. So I started telling people, and to this day I'm still telling people. I think I have about 500 or 600 converts under my belt, and that's it. You know, I'm a new man, and this continues to be one of the most exciting things in my life, and I want to spread the word and spread the message because I want other people to get off their medication too and to start to feel younger than they've ever felt in their life.
Yeah, I heard from Dr. Shauna. She told me, Dr. Shauna Young, for those of you out there who are listening, she's on this show as well. She has a show on about naturopaths. Naturopaths are quacks, and I must be a duck. It's her show, and you can go back and listen to that in the archives. But she said you're the only person that can walk into a room and have everybody wanting to do paleo after you walk out. She said you're just that convincing about the paleo diet, and she recommended for me to get you on, so I'm glad she did that.
That's great. Yeah, not 100%, but I can get most of them.
Yeah, it's an easy sell, I think. But Jason,
yeah, exactly.
Jason, tell us how you discovered paleo.
Well, I come into the story after Joe, you know, and I tell the story in the book that you know, here I was, a former college athlete, and you know, always prided myself on fitness and on eating well, and you know, I didn't need anybody to tell me, you know, how to eat or how to exercise or how to live, you know, because I knew, you know, I'd been doing it forever. And, you know, Joe, whereas Joe ignored his friend 10 times, I probably ignored Joe 15 to 20 times. Now, you know, Joe's very hard to ignore, as I find out every day, even though I tried very hard. But what I realized eventually, Darren, was that, you know, for a guy who was supposed to be fit, and for a guy who was supposed to be healthy, I didn't feel very fit, and I didn't feel very healthy. I didn't sleep well. Mm-hmm. My workouts left me exhausted. I didn't have a lot of energy. My digestion was poor. You know, I had some pretty significant digestive issues.